Used exclusively as a gentleman's carriage, it enjoys an easy, unhurried, privileged existence. "20 years on, and a new owner brings the Humber down to earth. Family life replaces the high life."
We used to spend about an hour going up to Kirby Moorside in the car with our dad to collect trays and trays of strawberries.
The smell of the wood and the leather just brought it all back to me. It's quite amazing and quite moving, in fact.
We all had a bit of a tear in our eye, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was a workhorse, and really that's why I bought it. Up to the railway station for 500 chips and mushrooms, umpteen boxes of flowers, anything really. Anything that came along on the spur of the moment, as the fruit business is. At the back of my mind, of course, it was always a nice vehicle for the family and a one-off, if you like.
We had food in here. It was never like, don't spill anything or don't make a mess. It was never like that. It was always just to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
The Woody. The wooden sides, yeah. Always called the Woody.
And I suppose because it was wood, it was like a little house.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, when you shut the doors, it was like being in a little house with windows and doors. Yeah, it's a house on wheels.
When he used to take the children out in the summer evening, I got a rest. And if he said, I'll take them to collect the strawberries, you know, I thought, great.
Mum used to provide
the exact same, and that is the basket that was in there.
I mean, Dad wouldn't be that organised. I think Mum would have been, right, if you're going to be in there...
And have a picnic, it'll be the real thing. It will provide the real thing.
And the little Tupperware, 1960s Tupperware.
Our business was robbed of the safe, and the villains broke in, seized the safe, and used the car to remove the safe from the premises. The safe was found below a bridge nearby on the road. Presumably they dropped it to try and open it. Anyway, we recovered the safe unopened and continued to use it for many years. I had an idea who they were, but they never caught them. Brass hinges, all brass. Look at the thickness of that. Eh? I'm not a wood person, but I rather fancy that would be ash. Wonderful. Don't catch these tears, will you? Splendid. Absolutely lovely.
You get nostalgic about vehicles. And I even shed a tear when I saw it today. Because it's just...
Kids.
life.
Time for the Humber to move on, but not very far. A group of local men are tempted by the thought of another restoration project.
I couldn't resist it. I've had a couple of Humbers earlier than that, and I was a sort of a Humber man by then, and took it home, and then I didn't really know what to do with it. So I tried to interest these two chaps in it, and they were quite keen, and we restored it eventually.
It was looking pretty rough, wasn't it?
There was lots of old vegetables in the back of it.
Howard and his mates burn plenty of midnight oil working on the Humber, and even take third prize with it at a local show. Their wives, however, remain unmoved.
They weren't very impressed with it.
No.
Generally.
No, it was not exactly a lady's car, you know. It took over our life for a while.
We were very involved in it for about 6 months, weren't we?
Yes,
and then it sort of tailed off. And it might have become a little bit of an embarrassment because it was that big.
You know, at the end of the day, we decided that we would move it on, didn't we?
Yes, it had to go.
It had to go, yes, that's right.
It's now 1981, and the Humber moves away from the northeast for the first time in 30 years. A whisky distillery in the Hebrides has decided that a 2.5-ton, 18 miles to the gallon shooting brake is just what they need.
We used to use it at Lagavulin for taking VIP people from the airport to the distillery, and then once they had a few drams of Lagavulin, then we would take them around the island and show them the rest of the island and take them back to the airport, and then they would go off on the plane again. No other distillery on the island that had anything like that, you know, and it was a great thing. You would be getting phone calls from the other distilleries, you know, what is this you've got now, you know?
The other distilleries may be jealous, but in fact, the island's salty sea air is slowly killing the Humber. After 2 years, it's driven to London and left to rot.
I couldn't let it go. I couldn't let it rot anymore. You've only got to look at it and you smile. It isn't like you're looking at a Rolls Royce or any other. It's just it just looks fun.
And then you get in it, and once you sit in it, I think it's the upholstery and the comfort and the way it drives.
Everyone just done a little bit on it, and slowly but surely it come together. And so then you looked at it and went, oh yeah, now the woodwork was done, the panels were all off, it was all coming together, being resprayed, and it was looking good. Put it all back together again, it was perfect.
But in 1991, things are far from perfect. 6 years of restoration are reversed as fire sweeps through the building in which the Humber's stored.
All this side was burnt right off. Headlight was gone, all this was gone, this was all off. The tyre was actually melted to the floor. The running boards were burnt, but didn't touch the doors. I was just devastated, absolutely devastated. I didn't cry or nothing like that, but I was stood there like with virtually going, you know, it's just. No, I didn't, but I mean, I was just gobsmacked. I mean, I look at this and I go for, you know, what we was talking about earlier, I go through it and sometimes I think, Jesus Christ, like, you know, how do I go through it all? But you don't, I just looked at it and went, right, that's it, we're going to do it again.
Renovation number 2 takes a further 2 years, but boy, was it worth it.
What kept us going most of the time going through it was the goons, actually.
Hello, everybody.
It's a total pleasure. It's a total pleasure.
When we got Best Restoration, I was so pleased for you, Mick. It was wonderful. Yeah, that's good.
We took it to the Humber show then, and we got Best Restoration from the Humber Club. And the owner's choice of best car at the show. And that was nice. That was like saying thanks for bringing it, and you know, thanks for not letting it go at the scrap. I was taking the car back to my pub. First time I'd been out of the garage. I was going down Brixton Hill. I put my foot on the brake, and there was nothing. Just went straight down to the floorboards. I couldn't believe it. I was so shocked. I just put my arm across on the horn and got hold of the handbrake and pulled for life. And there's a guy in front of me on his mobile phone. And he just looked in his mirror and he see it coming towards him, and he just put his foot on the accelerator and went. And you got to enjoy it, haven't you?